Welcome back to another episode of Ask Alice with me, your host Alice. Today the question is, what is the best money you ever spent on something for writing? And I have a couple. So besides my editing, because I went with a very high-end editing company that does all the different levels of editing, and I have a cohesive team that does all of my books, and an entire team that is working on my books to make them better. So that clearly is the number one thing, which helps to make my books the caliber that they are. But taking that aside, because I know not everybody can afford that, some simple things that I purchased that I'm really happy with is Pro Writing Aid. It's a program that does like grammar and writing checks and that for your work, which I love, and I actually use it quite often, not only in my books themselves, but I use them in my newsletters, and I use them for emails sometimes that I have to write for my husband's company and different things like that, because you can set it if it's a short story or a business email or a fantasy novel or a YA novel, and it changes the expectations of the writing when you're editing it or looking through it with the program, depending on what it is. It can do English, American English, Canadian English, Australian English. So I like having the ability to switch the settings and that inside of it and making it work for me for the different stuff that I'm writing, which is really fun. It's finally learned to stay on fantasy and be forced to be moved off of that when I need it to be moved off of that, which I appreciate. Something else I purchased that I was really happy with is I've gone to quite a few writing conferences. A simple one that I did first was called Women in Publishing, and I really appreciated it because it was entirely virtual and it was inexpensive to attend, and when you weren't sure what you need or what you want, having a simple one that you could find that wasn't $1 million was incredibly helpful for me. And Alexis was amazing and so kind and open, and if you ever have the opportunity, it's run in March of every year. It's called Women in Publishing. I'll put their website here for you. And yeah, I thought it was fantastic and I enjoyed it. I also went to one virtually in Canada. I live in Canada, so that was helpful, and it was in Vancouver, and this is that one. It was more expensive, but I got a lot out of this one. Like, this one was really, really helpful. And then this year I'm trying a new one in November. I'll be going to one in Vegas called 20 Books to 50K. And I'm looking forward to that one because, again, I'm going to be attending it in person, which is the first time that I've done an in-person conference for my writing. And I'm super excited about that because it's going to change the dynamic. I'm going to get to meet other authors and hopefully find some people who write in my genre who I can become friends with and, you know, build my writing community. I have a really great writing community that I've met online, and that's amazing, but it's going to be really exciting to meet some of these people in person. So I'm very excited about that. So, yep, that is the money that I'm most happy with having spent on things. Also, little things, like I have a microphone for my phone for making my videos and that kind of stuff, and I bought a light box for photographing things from my store. So little things like that. But for the big writing things, it's Pro Writing Aid and it's the conferences I've attended because they were massively helpful for me. Oh, and also buying the Emotional Thesaurus, because that book is invaluable and worth every penny. It could be worth its weight in gold, and I would still buy that thing because it was great. That's this book here. So yeah, those are my top 3. And if you have any questions for me, drop them in the comments because I would love to answer them on my next Ask Alice. Have a nice day, guys, and happy reading. Bye.